Yeah.
Holiday.
Holiday today. Hello.
Very tempting
Dashboard.
for a change.
I know.
It was glued to the television in Israel.
I'm sure.
Don't tell me.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's over.
I felt the weekend, it was just Friday. I don't know why sometimes weekends feel very long, and then this one felt like,
Like that.
yeah. I was just doing a lot of stuff. Are you off anywhere for the winter? Are you going to be
I'm
here?
gonna be in San Juan.
Remind me again, do you have a regular place to stay there? Or do you?
Yeah.
That's great.
We're gonna tiny apartment.
Oh, nice.
So we go between Thanksgiving and Christmas and then in January.
Lovely. How many years have you guys been doing that for?
5 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then before that, had you been traveling there before?
Yeah.
It's so incredible there.
It's really.
And do you guys have a car there, or you don't need
No,
one?
we don't, but we're in San Juan, and so everything is, the neighborhood's really walkable.
Yeah.
The area overall is not, but any place that we want to go is further, the Ubers are expensive.
Yeah.
So we figure that's still cheaper than buying a car.
Yeah, absolutely. So nice. Yeah, every time I've gone, for a couple of years, I was going every year for a while, and they're just so, it's like you can drive the circumference pretty easily,
Yeah.
but there's so much to see. Like within that island, there's so many different terrains.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
And it's just like really relaxed.
Yeah.
It's like,
Pace of life
it's totally
and
different.
food.
Yeah. And some people it drives them crazy because everything like moves slow and nothing happens efficiently, but it's like,
When you have the balance.
but you have to like embrace that. That's something
Yeah.
really wonderful about it.
Yeah. I'm going to India in a couple of weeks for my cousin's wedding, and I'm bringing my girlfriend for the first time. She's never been. And there's no real way to describe it, unless you're there, but the only description I have is just organized chaos. Like, if you stop and think too much, you'll get swept up. But if you're like, okay, this is just the way, I'm walking, I'm moving, I'm in the crowd, it becomes manageable. But similar, you just kind of have to like be in the mindset of being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's someplace I'd really love to go.
Yeah, it's since my dad moved back, I've been lucky enough to go every year since I was a kid because my parents were the only two that came here out of their whole family. But my dad moved back there full time in 2015, and before he moved back, there's my immediate family, and we would see them every time, stay with them, go on a little holiday with them. But since he's moved back, his network of just who he started to connect with is so much bigger. So it feels like a whole new place when I'm traveling around with him. It's really amazing. And it's one of the places also, like you can go 100 times and I feel like I've only seen like 0.02% of it. Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Good to see you. This is one thing about the studio that I love is that when it's nice outside, it's lovely, but especially when it's like raining and snowy, you feel like you're in a little globe, like a protected globe. Hi, y'all. Good to see you.
Nervous about what you have in store for us today.
Say that again?
I said I'm nervous about what you have in store for us today.
Oh,
Today's the
demons.
TRL, Demon TRL.
I've been keeping a mental log. Blocks, strap.
You need the balls?
We'll use the balls. Yeah, it's Monday. We'll use the balls if we want to use the balls.
That's what my wife does. We need the balls.
We need the balls. Yeah, we'll start in some time, y'all, but you can grab anything that you'd like to use. We'll definitely use 2 blocks, a strap, blanket if you like some cushioning when your knees are down. And then I'd love to get some time to roll this evening, this afternoon. Who knows what time of day it is, but there's therapy balls in the white baskets here. I can also bring them to you later on.
It's so dark, it feels later,
It feels so much later.
because it's so dark.
I know. I know.
I can't wait till daylight savings time is over.
Over. I was like, I can't wait till
I can't wait till it's over.
like in March.
But we go back to standard time in early November.
I know.
Because it doesn't get light until,
So later. Yeah, I know.
I'm waking up and it's,
I know. Yeah.
Being dark at 4:30 isn't so great either.
Oh no.
no, I mean, no.
There's balance to each.
Yeah, but I just feel like the morning is so dark
I know. It is. Yeah.
for so long. It's hard to wake up.
Yeah. I brought all of my, in the summertime, I have a whole bunch of houseplants in my house, and in West Philly you have all the big porches, so I put everything out on the porch in May, and I brought them all in a couple weeks ago, because I always play it fast and loose when the frost is going to happen. I never check, and then the day before the frost I'm like, the trees are inside. But I feel like I have to talk to all of the plants to be like, it's okay. I know it's not as nice as it was, but we just have to make it to May. Hi, y'all. Good to see you. Take your time. We'll start in a little bit. There are a bunch, on an off day for some people, there are a bunch of folks in class today, no more than usual, but if you see, just the suggestion I like to say is if you see a couple of inches of space next to you on the right or the left, you might just scooch closer to your friends as people are trickling in. And then we'll use all of the props this afternoon. 2 blocks, a blanket, a strap, some therapy balls, and then anything else that you see. Hello. You on break this week? Oh.
I wish. But I'm here.
Yes, I love it.
I'm on break this week.
Yes, I am. It's like the students, you could see it in their eyes how they were itching for the week to come.
Need it.
They need it.
Just wondering if they get a full week.
They get a full week.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
good.
Penn is 2 days.
oh gosh,
Yeah.
Penn State, they don't get a break till Thanksgiving. Break.
no break. Wow. 2 days is tough.
Yeah. I think it's because they give, so there's 3 days of Thanksgiving, so it's 5 days off, and then the spring is 1 full week, 5 days.
I see.
So I think it's, yeah,
They ration it out.
yeah.
I think they start,
Started earlier.
you know, I wish I knew more about the behind the scenes of academia. I just go in and teach the class and then I leave just because I don't have enough time to do anything else. Last week I had to ask the students, I was like, I had to ask them, like, when are you off? When do I not to come? When do I don't have?
You don't want to know more.
I don't want to know more. Yeah. But they are lovely.
Can I make a request for you?
Oh,
Just like all the different parts of
yes, every part of
Yeah,
it.
every part.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Dashboard. Calendar. Good to see you. Okay. All right, y'all, we'll get started. I think people will start to trickle in as we get moving. But it's great to be with you all. And on your regular schedule or day off schedule, I always like to see when there's folks I see usually in the nighttime in the day, and I'm like, what are you doing here? How did you make it in the morning? But for those of us that haven't get a chance to say hi to you all, my name is Anisha. Thank you for coming. I have a whole bunch of announcements. I was just looking at the clipboard, and they really know how to schedule programming leading into the daylight savings era. It's a lot of incredible sound bowls and restorative yoga classes and just ways to get comfortably tucked in to prepare as we turn towards the darkness outside. But I'll share some specific announcements after we get practicing. But while you're getting comfortable, you can take your time to grab all of the props, your blocks, your blanket, straps, and I can also bring some stuff over to you as we get moving around if you don't want to get up and grab anything right now. The wind, the nor'easter, it is upon us. I feel like I walked here for 5 blocks and got 6 things in my eyeballs, so if you see me itching them, it's not allergies, it's just figuring out how to calibrate within the weather. So today, our 3rd week of October, for those of us that have been practicing together for a while, or if it's our first time or it's been a while with each other, I like to teach monthly, so series and is all throughout the month. And for the month of October, I've been teaching about mythological stories of the goddess. So unofficially, the holiday of Navratri, the 9-night and 9-day celebration of the goddess, finished like 2.5 weeks ago. But for the sake of class, each week I've been sharing a different mythological story about her, how she's relevant, and why we kind of think about her in our yoga practice. So the studio itself, some of you may know, is named after Three Queens Queen Village, and then also the 3 main deities in the yogic and Hindu tradition. There's Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance. There's Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom and knowledge. And then there's Durga, the goddess who we've been talking a bunch about over the past few weeks, and I'll mention her story today. So before we get to moving, the story will start off just as it so often does. Once upon a time, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, we start off right in the middle of the battlefield. And I'm looking over here because there's the stuffed animal of Durga and her trusty lion that she rides on the back of on. And then her deities are up here too at the base. So I like to look at them just to get a little inspiration. But this story starts off many, many years ago, right in the center of a battlefield. And a whole bunch of demons these past few weeks have been killed, defeated, consumed. Hi, come on in. And absorbed. And so this week starts off when one demonic army has been defeated. And yet, the demon still persists. There's still more activity going on. And so in the middle of the battlefield, there's these series of divine goddesses. Parvati, the goddess of the householder. And as a reminder, she looks most like us in our human form. She wears her plain clothes. She has 2 arms. Some of the goddesses have less than 4, up to 10 arms. So she's the one who looks most like us in our earthly form. So Parvati is there. Now there's Durga, the warrior goddess, the one who rides on the back of a lion or a tiger with her 10 arms, all holding different weaponry. And the divine ferocious, the one who always has her tongue rolling out of her mouth. This is applicable to our story today. Hello. And her hair is always wild and out. She's wearing a necklace of 1,000 skulls representing all the demons that she's defeated. And now there's these 3 goddesses on the battlefield, and they see from a far distance that one more demon is emerging. And now he's the most outrageous one of them all. In Sanskrit or Hindi, his name is called Rakta Bija. And the name translates to Rakta meaning blood, Bija meaning seed. And his truly demonic power is that for every time he's provoked or attacked, for one of his drops of blood that spills, another 1,000 demons emerge. So all of the strategies that these goddesses had used before just aren't working. The more they attack him, the more they provoke him, the stronger he becomes. And so what happens is that not goddesses, but also an army from the heavens, from the earth, where the divine masculine energies turn into their divine feminine energies. So Vishnu, the god of preservation, of sustenance, he turns into Vaishnavi, and she arrives through the heavens, riding on swans. I'm just painting the image of what we're working with here. There's Brahma, the god of who turns into Brahmini, and the story goes is that she rides on the cow through the fields and arrives in an entire army of those around her. And the story goes is that there's 108 different divine energies that emerge. And I was teaching this to some students the other day, and the pop culture reference that they gave, if you've watched this movie, great. If you haven't, also good. But there's the last Avengers movie. Has anyone seen that one? It's my soothing movie for some reason. I put it on when I'm vacuuming around the house, so this was a very appropriate reference. But if you haven't seen it, there's a scene where there's this entire demon army that's emerging, and they're trying to get rid of something, and they're like, how are you going to get rid of this? And all of the superheroes and are like, we got this. Has anyone seen this? Oh, okay. Never mind, but what is happening? And I like to mention it because even the mythological stories have pop culture references. This movie came out in 2016. It's not that old. And so there's currently. So long story long, the goddesses all emerge, and essentially they see that they have to defeat this demon in some way or capacity. So what Kali does, the goddess of divine ferocity, she rolls out her tongue and she starts to lap up all of the blood that this demon is spilling, so no new demons can emerge. And finally, as all the demonic army is being consumed, attacked, defeated, Durga comes in with her trident and slays the final blow to defeat this demon that's shape-shifting and constantly created. And after Kali is there, she's in a fit of rage. You know, it's that sensation of when you're agitated or when you're feeling something and someone says, oh, just take a breath and calm down. And that sentence alone will make me more enraged than when I was before. I don't know I'm not projecting, but that sensation of when someone tells you to do something that you're like, absolutely not. I'm going to get even more upset about this situation than I've ever imagined. That's what's happening to Kali. She's consumed this demon. She's destroyed all of the demonic energy in the earth. And it's not like she just goes and sits and says, okay, I'm going to have a cup of tea now and be regular. She creates scorched earth. She runs through the battlefield when everyone is defeated and starts to destroy things that don't need to be destroyed. And everyone around her is like, we don't know how to harness her. And so Shiva, her beloved, the one who sees as her, he says, I know what to do. And he goes onto the floor of the battlefield and lays down onto the earth. And as Kali is moving around, she steps on him. And there's a story that she eats his head off, but I won't tell you that one for today just because it's Monday at noon. And when she steps on his body, she's reminded of who she's always been. She's reminded of how she can call herself back down to earth. And the two of them and all of the other goddesses start to retreat back to where they came from. So I always ask this question, why am I telling you this story in a yoga class on Monday at noon? And one, because they're inextricably linked. Our practice is divine, a way in which we experience ourselves larger than life. And the story, it reminds us, one, that the demons that exist in our worlds aren't necessarily demons that drop blood and another 1,000 demons emerge, but they're very real and palpable and they exist. And the story of the goddesses, it teaches us that one, there's so many versions of yourself that you have yet to meet, and two, you don't do it alone. There's an army and metaphorical folks around to help you absorb and to see where the demons take place. And then the last one is three, that your ability to find your own divine rage exists, and your ability to find your own divine bliss exists, and they're inextricably linked with one another. So why am I telling you all this? Because over the past couple of weeks, I've been crowdsourcing your demon poses that agitate, that you don't love, that aren't friendly, make you feel a certain sort of thing. And we're going to do all of them today, at least as many as we can. And so the story is your demon, someone else's bliss and joy, and your bliss might be someone else's demon. And the practice is not necessarily to stay even-keeled, but to see where the fluctuations start to emerge. So we'll see where it takes us as we conquer our real and metaphorical demons. But take breaks, sip lots of water, take all the time that you need, and I'll turn the fans on as we start to get a little warmer. But I'm really happy y'all are here. Let's start together in a comfortable seat, please. However that looks for you. You might start lying fully down on the ground. You might start with your legs crossed underneath you. Perhaps you start with your knees underneath you, but if you are seated, you might see what it feels like to sit up on some gentle propping, either your blanket or your block, just so that your hips can fall naturally higher than your knees. And your low back might really lift and lengthen, just to stack the deck in your own favor. And as your hands fall anywhere that they fall, perhaps into your lap or on the tops of your thighs, your eyes might soften so you can listen for the sound of your breath. When we close our eyes, it's a moment in time to see yourself more clearly than before. To let each breath gently dissolve the morning and the afternoon that was. To let each breath help you arrive to where you are now. And every breath that comes after makes a little more space for what has yet to come. So as you take any small or necessary adjustments in your seat, in your clothes, and in your hair, let your attention settle into your breath a little more fully. Your next inhale can move from your nose down into your belly and up into your chest. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through the very top of your head. Let your head stack above your heart and your heart above your hips. A few more rounds of breath just on your own. With each inhale as it moves in and down and fills you up. Let your exhale keep that inner body bright, but let your outer body soften. Let the shoulders and the fingers soften into themselves. We'll begin our practice here with one another with 3 more rounds of that same breath. So as you give yourself a moment, your hands to center anywhere that might feel for you, on your body or in front of your heart. Wait for your inhale as it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer your breath out. 2 more times, just on your own. At the bottom of your breath, you might pause for a moment. Take notice of that difference that comes when you and truly remember your breath. And now, keeping a thread of that connection inward, let your hands slowly release. Blink your eyes open. And let's begin standing today at the top of your mat. So take your time to come into your standing pose. You might have your blocks framing out the top corners of your mat. Perhaps you move them about and use them as we start to move. But as you come to stand, feel both feet underneath your hips. Tiny bend in your knees, especially if they lock. And let your hands come down by your sides in Tadasana. Let your eyes soften or close and begin to listen for your breath. take a deep breath in and down. And as you exhale, press your feet down into the earth and grow 1 inch taller up through the top of your head. Now, keeping that length, softly blink your eyes open. On your inhale, sweep your arms forward and up to the sky. You exhale, soften your knees to hinge from your hips. Your hands might come onto blocks, or fingertips might tap the floor in front of your feet, but let your head be heavy as you bow in toward yourself. If it feels appropriate for your neck, gently nod your head yes, and slowly nod your head, and see what gravity can do for your upper back as you take a breath in and a deeper breath out. Now on your inhale, come up halfway, hands to your blocks or shins as you slide your heart forward. And on your exhale, fold, plant your palms and step it back to downward facing dog. In your down dog, you might widen your feet a couple inches, you might soften your knees, you might pedal your heels from side to side. But can you offer it to your breath just as you did when you were seated a few moments ago? Take a deeper breath in through the nose and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. At the bottom of your exhale, lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands into your standing forward fold. As you inhale, lengthen halfway, think heart and head towards the top of your mat, and exhale to fold, bowing in towards yourself. Now use your own fists and measure your feet about 2 fists width apart. With your toes pointing straight ahead, bend your knees, sit your butt back, and climb your palms up to your thighs for this first round of chair pose, some people's demon. As your butt sits heavy to the back of your mat, see if you can guide your knees open towards your second and third toes. And now press into your thighs to lift your heart away from the ground. Stay right here if you want more clearance in the low back. If you want to add some heat in the upper body, think arms overhead, but to the breath we go. A deep breath in and down. Stay for your exhale, think butt heavy to the back of your mat as you lift your heart, even your gaze away from the earth. On an inhale, come all the way up to rise. Reach up, get 1 inch taller as you touch the sky, and exhale to fold in towards yourself. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, grow long through your, and as you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Plant your palms to the top of your mat, step your feet all the way back to the back of your mat for downward facing dog. With your hands as wide as your mat, take up a little extra room. On an inhale, come forward to your plank pose, the top of a push-up. As you exhale, bend your elbows to lower all the way down onto your belly. With your hands wide, point your feet. Inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift through the and exhale to take it back to down dog, table, or puppy for 2 slow, steady breaths. Let each inhale move from your nose to your belly. And as you exhale, can you press down and forward through your hands to lift your hips to the sky, getting longer in every direction. At the bottom of your exhale, take your time, lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and 1 foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your palms to come into your forward fold. On an inhale, lengthen halfway, think heart long, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale to fold, bowing in Uttanasana. With those feet 2 fists width apart, 1 more time, bend your knees, sit your butt back, hands eyes, your hips are up overhead, Utkatasana, round 2. For every 1 drop of blood from the demon that spills, and emerge. We're not doing too many chair poses today, but can you listen to itself? Take a long breath in and down. Stay for your exhale. Think ribs back. Let the middle of your back expand. Slide your ears back to lift your chin. Maybe the arms come back in line with your ears if they're overhead. Rise, reach 1 inch taller as you touch the sky. And exhale to fold, bowing in. Right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to catch your lunge. And now bring those hands high up onto your blocks or fingertips on either side of your right foot. Keep your left hand down on the ground or on your block as you reach your right arm straight ahead towards the front of the room. Like someone's trying to pull you through your right finger. You're resisting with your right hip. Wrap your right hip towards the back of your mat. Take a big breath in here. And as we exhale, start to revolve open to the right. Let's do that 2 more times. Reach your right arm to the back of the room, down and forward. Every exhale, revolve. Follow your pace. Now the 3rd time you twist open to the right, stay here as you reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Lift your left heel, knee and thigh high. Wrap your right hip back. And then can you lean the shoulders and the ears back against yourself? A bigger breath in. Stay for 1 more exhale. You might bend into your right thigh. Let it get heavy. Now inhale to unwind. Lower your right hand. Step left foot meets your right to come back into your forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway. And as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Take your time for your second side. Keep your left foot forward. Step your right foot all the way back to lunge. With your left knee and toes pointing straight ahead, your hands might be on blocks or fingertips, but keep your left arm straight ahead towards the front of the room. Reach forward through your left fingertips. Simultaneously wrap your left hip back and grow long through the left side waist. A big breath in, and on your exhale, twist open to the left. Big circles with that left arm, twice on your own. Breathe in as you grow long. Exhales to revolve your heart to the left. Now the 3rd time you twist, stay here for a few. Your left arm up to the sky. Sometimes the right knee wants to dip down to the ground. Lift your right heel high to the, and as you wrap your left, lean back against yourself. A full, deeper breath out. Facing. Notice what you feel from side to side as you listen for your breath. Let your hands come as wide as your mat. Give yourself some space. On your inhale, plank pose, the top of your push-up. Exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Drink your breath in for Cobra, Bhujangasana. Think shoulder blades hug on the upper back. And as you exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. A full breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or parted lips. From your down dog, lift your right leg up. Step your right foot through to catch your lunge. And on your inhale, come up to rise for high lunge as you reach your arms, your chest, and your torso to the sky. Walk your right foot an inch or 2 over to the right. Let your feet be less on a balance beam. But like you did in that twisted lunge, lift your back heel, stretch up through the fingertips and try to look away from the floor. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Grow 1 inch tall fingers and up and over to the right for a side, breathing into the left waist. You might keep your right hand on your hip for more anchoring. You might play with some balance and let your right hand grab your left wrist. But like you did in that chair pose, think ribs back, slide your ears back to the chin, and maybe you bend 1 more inch into your front thigh. Now inhale to come all the way up through center. Let your hands tap. Take it back to downward facing dog. A few more times together. Really listen for your breath more than my voice. On your inhale, plank. As you exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for your inhale, Cobra. Shoulder blades hug on the upper back. And exhale to take it up and back to downward facing dog. 1 more side. On your inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Step your left foot through or around or use your helping hand to catch your lunge. Ride your inhale to come up to rise for high lunge on that second side. As you walk your left foot an inch or 2 over to the left, think about that back leg lifted up above the earth. Wrap your right hip towards the front of the room. And now as your left hand comes to your left hip, grow 1 inch taller through the hips and up and over to the left for a side bend in this high lunge. Stay here, breathing. Like your left hand might grab the right wrist. But ribs and belly want to move forward like mine always do. Slide the ribs back. Bring the ears back to lift your chin. And as you keep that, maybe you bend 1 more inch into your inhale to come all the way up through center. Hands tap the ground. Downward facing dog as your hips lift to the sky. Pedal your heels. Take a full breath in and a deeper breath out. And now from your down dog, inhale through to plank pose. As you exhale, lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Stay on your belly. Reach your arms alongside of you and flip your palms down to face the floor. Another demon, an anonymous demon, Shalabhasana, locust pose. So before you lift, can you feel your legs behind you in space? And now without actually moving them, energetically hug your inner thighs towards each other. The shoulder blades together. Wait for your inhale as you lift your head, your chest, float your arms up off of the earth. Legs up and away from the ground as you take flight. As you lift, can you soften your eyes and soften the... Remember the fullness of your breath. With each and the inner thighs hug together. Think in towards the ceiling. And now hug the shoulder blades together and lift your palms 1 more inch. Even wiggle the fingers as you take a big breath in. And on your exhale, release. You might make a pillow with your hands. Maybe you rest on one of your cheeks or on your forehead. But can you feel your breath wash its way over you as you send your breath in and down? Fill your belly. And every exhale, let yourself get heavier into the earth. If you're on a palm or on one of your cheeks, you might turn to the other side as you full breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. After a few breaths, let your hands come to either side of your chest. Press yourself up through to tabletop or plank pose. And on your exhale, take it up and back to downward facing. Now from your down dog, walk your feet to come as wide as your mat. Tiny bend in your knees, and 1 palm at a time, walk your hands back to meet your feet. So you fold somewhere at the back-ish of your mat. Let your knees be soft, let your head be heavy. And as you bow towards your... And a longer breath out. Good, now climb your hands up onto your hips. Stand down through your legs and a big inhale to come all the way up to rise as your hands come down by your side. Sip water at any point, take breaks at any point. But here, when you're ready, bring wide as your mat and turn your toes out to face the top corners of your mat. As we come into this version of Malasana, bend your knees and start eyes. Good, now when you let your knees want to knock in, mine always do, hands to open. Second and third toe. Back, feel the curve in through the low. Pubic bone back, think sitting bones like down towards the floor. You might feel your low belly lift. Lift your... Keeping the heels down, maybe your forearms come to the tops of your thighs without losing that connection. Pubic bone back. Bones down as you lift your chest. Stay here, or you might lower your hips to notice if you down and you pubic bone back, bones down, your chest. Breathe. Nose out through the nose or mouth. Now for arms overhead towards the pubic bone back, bones down. Your chest, a big breath in, and on your exhale, plant your palms, straighten your knees, and bow in. You feel the thighs? Okay. Let your head get heavy. Let the knees be soft, and feel gravity. Let your spine grow longer to the earth. And now start to look forward, and 1 palm at a time, walk your hands forward towards the top of your mat to bring it into downward facing dog. From your down dog, lift your right leg up and back. Bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Third lunge. And now if you'd like a blanket, we're coming in for a thigh stretch. You might lower your left knee down onto the floor or onto a shelf. Bring your hands high up onto your fingertips, blocks. And now right knee and off to the right. As you walk your hands, one hand at look over your left. Look at your left foot. Bend your knee to lift your left toes up off the ground. Stay here, or maybe your left hand reaches around to grab onto your left foot for the thigh stretch or a strap. There's plenty to do exactly as you are. Or mindfully, slowly, right hand back to the inside of your right foot. You might play with some balance and climb your right up onto your right thigh. You might bring your right to your chest or up overhead, or reach your right hand around to grab onto your left foot. But listen for your full breath in and down. Stay for your exhale. Can you lift your heart from the floor? And maybe bend one more inch into your front thigh. Now slowly let your right hand touch the ground first. Let go of your, plant your palms. Downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Secret silent demon of someone's. We're peppering them all in. A deeper breath in through the nose and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. And now let's try out the last side. On your inhale, lift up your left foot to the outside of your lizard lunge and lower your now as your hands come or fingertips, one hand at the top right corner of your mat. This is just shortening the distance between your arm and that right foot. Bend your right toes up off the ground. Your left hand ab or the leg of your think lift up through here exactly where you are. You might your left hand back side of your left foot. With that balance, reach to your chest, overhead, or let it hug the right foot towards your right butt cheek. For Anjaneya, breath we go, a deep breath in. Stay, exhale, can you grow tall through your heart? Try to look away. Bend one more inch into your front thigh. Now let your left hand tap the floor and let go of your right foot. Plant your palms and back to downward facing dog as you lift your hips to the sky. Pedal your heels from side to side, a breath to notice what it is that you see and feel. And now from your down dog, lift your heels, soften your knees, walk your feet to the middle of your mat. Walk your hands to the middle of your mat to meet yourself somewhere in the middle. You might widen your feet an inch or two or soften your knees, but take a breath as you bow in towards your own self, a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And now in a moment, you'll come to sit on your butt. So however you'd like to lower down, you might bend your knees. You might come up to stand and lower your butt all the way to the ground. This was a demon that was whispered to me last Tuesday night. And we're doing it today because I will not forget. But Navasana pose. For this one, if you could, can you find your block and place it in between your feet? So at its shortest and widest height. Good. Once your feet are on the ground, hug the block together. Hands catch behind your thighs. Keep your feet on the floor, hug the shoulder blades together to lift your chest. There's so much to do here. I want you to think about squeezing your feet into that block. You might flex your feet and lift the block up off the ground. Take a breath. Maybe you lean back and with the block between your feet, you lift your feet up off the earth. Now for this one, I really like to keep my hands behind my thighs. If you want to add a little spice, you can reach your arms out in front of you, but squeeze the block, lift up through the chest, and listen for your breath. A deep breath in and a longer breath out. Take one more. If the feet are lifted, maybe you lift them in line with your gaze. And now on your exhale, lower your feet, ditch the block, bring your hands behind you, and just watch for any gaps as you take your time to windshield your knees. Okay, they didn't specifically say it was Navasana with a block between, shape-shifting demons. I just added a little extra onto. Okay, we're gonna try it one more time. So you get which weaponry you want to use, meaning if it was helpful to keep the block between your thighs to see what it's like to squeeze in. Another version is to bring the block in between your thighs as you lift up. And now so you can either do block between the feet, block between the thighs, stay still the whole time, or if you're interested in some dynamic movement with or without the block, in a moment you'll take a breath in, you'll lower down into half boat and exhales to lift back up. We'll do that 5 times. We'll take 5 breaths in any variation that you're in. Either 5 breaths here, 5 breaths here, 5 breaths. That was me doing it on hyperlapse. Yeah. Or 5 breaths in stillness. Everyone have something they want to explore? Which side of the demonic army? They all are serving something. So choose your choice. Block feet between the thighs, no block, but let your knees bend, feet on the ground, and let your hands catch behind your legs. Hug the shoulder blades together, lift your chest. Stay here the whole time, breathing, or you might lean back to lift your feet up off the floor. Hug the block if you're using it between your feet or thighs as you lift your chest. Stay with your breath, or if you're interested in half boat, reach your arms alongside of you. Inhale to lower, exhales to lift up. 4 more breaths. Inhales, lower, exhale up. Inhale to squeeze the block, exhale to squeeze the block. 2 more. Inhale to squeeze, exhale to squeeze a little more. Inhale to squeeze. Last one, everyone exhale as you lift. Stay for a breath. And on your exhale, release. Ditch the block, lean back. Take your time to either windshield wiper your knees, your legs a hug. Just a moment to reset. Is that anyone else's demon? You can say yes. You can also say Okay, so after a few breaths, cross your ankles, knees, and make your way back to down dog, please. And you lift your hips to the sky. A deep breath in through the nose, and a full breath out through your nose or mouth. Now from your down dog, one more time, feet as wide as your mat, tiny bend in your knees, and 1 palm at a time, walk yourself back to meet your feet as you fold somewhere at the back of your mat. Head heavy, bow in, a deeper breath in, and a longer breath out. And now this time, a slight variation of Malasana called garland pose. Heel to bring them as close as you can together. So feet to touch, shins, knees, thighs to touch. And now as you bend your knees, sit your butt back, come into your tiny little squat. Your heels lift up off. Yours might stay. As you squeeze the heels together, lift your chest, start to widen your knees, your belly, and begin to walk your hands towards the down dog. Now, your palms downward. Picture your butt getting towards the back of your head gets heavy towards the middle of your. Take a full breath in. Your exhale, can you feel almost cat pose in your belly? So dome your butt towards the sky. Back down onto the ground. Stay here or take a few child's pose. Your knees to call your. Okay. This was the most requested demon pose. most thought of demon pose. Can anyone guess what it is? Based on homework, but I'm just seeing. General? Okay, never mind. Crow pose, which throughout these past 3 weeks times. Okay, me too. I had 14 for me. So crow pose is what we'll move towards. We'll try it twice. We'll get some hip openers as counter poses and lay down. Two up of finding different ways. So we've done similar poses. And if you balances, if you were to split crow, the upper body is doing chaturanga in the arms. Lower pose. I picture I don't know how to show this. Hands are on the ground. So it's a big hip opener, a lot of steadiness in the upper. So one of the ways I like to using gravity to tip yourself in. You're more than welcome to take that version. You start off in that garland pose, like a little bird perching onto a branch. Your feet come onto a block. You might have a blanket in front of you. It's just a support blanket because you're reaching your head towards it. And then your hands come down onto the floor. My butt, I lift my heels, and I lean my chest forward and bend my elbows. And my goal, I'm trying to get my knees as high up into the armpits as I can, because inevitably, aspiration, how high can I get tucked? And now as I lean my chest forward, bend my elbows, you see how my elbows are over the wrists? Yeah, versus here, versus here. I'm trying to keep the elbows vertical. You might keep all 10 toes down on the ground, or you might bring one heel towards your butt, the other, and then maybe, both feet come in towards your butt. And then you come down, you rest. Yeah? So that's going to be option one. You saw that and you said, Anisha, no, not interested. The demons persist for today. I'm going to just let no obligations of things that you can do. Garland pose, staying here, playing with your balance. You might arms up and see what it's like to get wee. Might be in child's pose the entire time. Or you might work on those boat poses that we do. Similar shapes, just very different orientations to gravity. Yeah? Have something they want to work with? I'm going to talk you through this crow variation. Working on anything else, I'll cut you loose for a few moments, and you come back together. So if you're coming into crow, find at its lowest height, somewhere at the back-ish of your mat. If you'd like your blanket, you can bring it somewhere to the middle for a little cushioning. And now bring your feet on bird on a perch. As you bend your knees, garland pose, your squat, and now squeeze your heels towards each other. Walk your hands forward to the middle of wide as your mat. And now lift your butt, lift your heels, look forward the whole time. And as you bend your elbows, bend them like chaturanga. Yeah, bend. Tuck your knees high up into your armpits. Maybe as you think chest forward, bend your. It's one heel to the butt, the other heel. Maybe both heels for a glimmer as you lower down. Nice, y'all. Still demonic? Thoughts, conundrums, questions, concerns, and see if you can look forward. Yeah, that's it. And then chest to drop more forward. When I look down, it's like head is coming, but when you look forward, it gives you a little direction to go. Once a year, baby, crow pose. You made it. Thoughts, things to share, questions? I love it off of the block. Me too. It's like a phew. Yeah. Yeah. It's harder with the block. Yeah. Scarier on the block. Yeah. Yes. All true. Okay, I want to show you one more option that's just food for thought. So remember we did a while ago that boat pose with the block between the feet? And so some questions that I've got pose, I'm up there, it feels like leap of faith. Like maybe today it'll make it, maybe another day it won't. And for me, that comes when my feet aren't hugging into each other. So when your feet hug in, it closes this energetic loop. So what this might is you'll bring a block between squat, your hands come down, you lift your hips. As you lift your heels and hips up, technical difficulties, you lean forward, bend your elbows. You see how my elbows are bent? And then maybe squeezing the block. I'm squeezing, I'm squeezing, I'm squeezing. I'm tapping, I'm squeezing, I'm tapping, I'm squeezing, and then maybe the arms straighten, if you want. Sometimes it positions, and you can come to sit on it. But the act of the block, you don't have to use it, but the idea is you're trying to squeeze your feet together. If the feet don't squeeze, it's like, no one looked like that, but that's what in my mind it's like. I'm like, ugh. So feet are hugging. Any variation of your choice. If you said no thank you, don't do it. You can observe. But if you're interested in this one with the block, find your block at its lowest and narrowest height, feet onto either side of the block. And now the block together, look forward, and as your hands and as wide as your mat, lift your heels, lift your butt. Now bend your elbows. Think chaturanga, bend them. And either tuck your knees high up into your armpits or on the outsides of your triceps. And as you squeeze the microcentimeter, and you lower it down. And then you do that a few times. That's good. Yay. It's like, I don't know, protecting the egg of the crow? Crows lay eggs. Or. Yeah. Whew. Monday. Okay, little pellets for thought. So when you can practice for as long as you'd like, but can we come to one last downward to get a little counter twists and poses in there? And we're lying. So from your down dog, bring your feet an inch or two wider than they already are. Lift your heels and soften your knees. Now stick your butt up and back towards the wall behind you. Think ribs away from the earth. Slide your ears back to lift your chin. And then maybe you keep your knees bent, or you might move your legs towards straight as you press the tops of your thighs back and let your heels get heavier to the earth. A full breath in through the nose and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. Now on your inhale, come forward to plank. As you exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Let your hands come as wide. Extra breaths in your cobra or baby. Release your feet down. Hug the shoulders together and back as you take a big breath in. And on your release to the earth. Press up through to tabletop. Take all the time that you need to flip over onto your back. Head is facing the front of the room. Feet are facing the before you get comfortable, just have your block distance. Have your therapy balls with it. If anyone needs therapy balls, you can lay down, raise a hand, bring some over to you. Come in. Once you're on your back, bend your knees, bring your feet flat onto the ground. Knock your knees, bring your feet as wide as your mat, knock your knees into one another. And let your hands come onto your belly or onto your chest as you take a full breath into and all the way out through your nose. Take another breath to the full to let. Now as you keep that connection to your, for any neighbors or props to your right or left, stay on your belly or on your ribs. Let your feet stay wide and drop both of your knees over to the right hand side like windshield wipers on a car. See what it feels like to have one knee turned in versus out. And now on knees back up through center, feet as wide, and drop your knees over to the left. On your next inhale, let both of your knees come back up through center. You give your right leg a hug in towards your chest or belly. Watch for any neighbors in front of you as you straighten your left leg long out in front. Let your left hand hold your outer right thigh and move your right leg up and over to the left for a twist on your back. And this is the time when I like to bring a lot of blocks underneath my right thigh so the floor really lifts to meet me where I am. So both of your shoulder blades, especially that right one, can soften to the earth. Take a long breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. Now, completely optional, you can stay right here with that left leg long. Or you might bend your left knee, left butt cheek with your left heel, and sweep your right hand down and around to grab the pinky side edge of your left foot. That's it. If you have a hold of the foot, you can also press your right palm down into your sticky mat. If you have a hold of the foot, push your foot back into your hand, and everyone shrug your right shoulder up and back into the earth. A deep breath in and a longer breath out. Now with care, release the hold of your legs. Draw your knees and hips back through center. And take all the time to give your left leg a hug towards your belly. Just being mindful of any neighbors around you, straighten your right leg long. Let your right hand hold your left thigh. And for Supta Padangustasana C, a reclined twist, move your left leg up and over to the right with as many blocks to meet you where you are. The story from early in class. Kali, the ferocious, with her tongue rolled out of her mouth. Once the demon was consumed and defeated, she was around in a fit of rage to steady herself. But as Shiva came and laid his body down on the earth, she stepped on him and was reminded of her inherent ease and steadiness. So as you stay here, or if you did so on side one, you might bend your right knee, kick your right butt cheek to your right heel. Maybe your left hand sweeps around and you press your left palm to your sticky mat, or you might grab the pinky edge of that right foot. But as you hold or not hold the foot, shrug your left shoulder up and back into the earth. Take a deep breath in. Stay for your exhale as you offer all of that breath out through every direction. On your inhale, gently release the hold of both legs. Draw your knees and your feet back through center and give your legs a hug in towards your belly or chest. Make some gentle circles in one or the other direction or stay still. You might lean in one direction or the other. You might also come into your variation of happy baby as you widen your knees, widen your thighs, Your hands might catch the backs of your thighs, calves, or the pinky edges of your feet. But anywhere you find yourself, can you take a full breath in? Stay for the exhale as your tail gets heavy and the back of your head softens to the ground. And now with care, release the hold of your legs. Some options for this afternoon. I'll talk you through a few moments of therapy ball work in the upper back. But if you'd like to set up early for rest, I really invite you to do so, taking all the time that you need to get as comfortable as you can. If you're interested in that therapy ball work, it's up to you. You can keep the therapy balls in their tote, or you might take, but hold your therapy balls in your hands, and now lift your head and shoulders up off of the ground. And from your upper back, therapy balls in between your shoulder blades to the shoulder blades themselves. So you want them pretty almost on either side of your spine. Kind of frame the spine between the bones and the wings of your shoulder blades. And now once you find a place you can breathe in and be curious about, you might bring your head down onto the ground. Or if you'd like to alleviate any pressure, you might bring your head up onto that block at its lowest height. For remember, the work with the therapy balls, it's less about finding the most intensity, the most sensation, but seeing and how you can find the fullness of your own breath. Take a deep breath in through the nose and open your mouth to let every ounce of that breath out. Call yourself back to your breath. And now for 2 more places here in the upper back with your knees bent, feet on the ground, press through your legs and roll your body a few inches towards your head until you feel the therapy ball back to the middle of the shoulder blades, just slightly lower than where they just were. With your head supported on the ground, take a big breath in and open your mouth to let that breath out. There's an entire universe to be explored in your stillness. Or if you'd like to experience any gentle movement, you might reach your arms up towards the ceiling with your arms and palms heavy. And just watching for any neighbors overhead, you might reach your right arm towards the front of the room while your left arm reaches to the sky. And then slowly begin to switch as your right arm reaches up and the left arm reaches overhead. But can you move with the fullness of your breath, taking longer inhales in and full steady breaths out through every section of you. And now after a few breaths, if your arms are lifted, slowly lower them down by your sides. And with your knees bent, feet on the floor, press just enough through your legs to roll your body another few inches towards your head until the therapy balls come to the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, the back of your heart. When and if you find this third place, take a big breath in and open your mouth to let that breath out. You might stay exactly where you are, or perhaps your arms up towards the sky and give yourself a hug as if your hands could reach for your therapy balls behind your back. Let your palms ungrip, let your fingers soften. You might lean gently from side to side. And if you are giving yourself that hug, perhaps you switch which elbow is on top to see if there's any difference. But a deeper breath in through the nose and a full steady breath out through your nose or mouth. Now, if your arms are wrapped, unwrap them. If you have any blocks underneath you, clear the blocks. And as you reach, start to move your hips towards your heels, feel the therapy balls come up your back. You can also roll over onto one side to push them out of the way. But take your time to let the therapy balls fully exit. Or sometimes if they stay for Shavasana, they create more tension than softness, than release. And as you drape your upper back onto the earth without the therapy balls, a breath into what you might not always see, but you can clearly feel. And the next place to meet is in your pose of rest. So I invite you to give yourself a few moments to take anything it is that you need, any layers you'd like to add, any props to support yourself fully. You might set your glasses safely off to the side or let your hair down. And perhaps you're laying on your back or curled over on your side, or even laying on your belly in full pranam. But if there's any small, subtle shifts or variations you can take to become even 1% more comfortable than you are already, please feel free to take it. Bless you. And it's here where the demon's defeated, the breath still remains, and you call yourself back to the fluency of your breath. Can each gentle, smooth, steady round of your breath begin to dissolve the entire practice that was. Each breath might help you arrive to where you are now. And every breath that comes after makes a little to come. So for these next few moments, let your heavier into the floor. And the heavier you become, the more expansive you may just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a sweeter breath out. Every one of your inhales is this divine energy exhaling its way into you. And every one of your inherently divine exhalations is an offering to its breath in. So as your breath gently awakens the body that you're in, you might start to slowly move your wrists or ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head from the other, heavy against its support. Or just being mindful of any props or those around you. Perhaps your arms reach away from your legs, or you draw your knees in towards your own chest. When the time comes, you can bend both knees, reach one or both of your arms overhead as you roll to any side of your choosing. And with the least amount of effort required, press into the floor and come up to rise to a tall seat, just as we started. With those eyes softly opened or closed, can you feel for your own breath as you take a deep breath in and down, and exhale to offer the breath up and out through every direction of you. Our time together will finish with one more of those breaths. You can draw your hands to center, anywhere that might feel for you. As you take a deep breath in, to offer all of it out. You might bow your head to your heart or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple but sweet gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another who practiced right alongside with you. And I bow to each one of you all. Thank you so much for choosing to be here. Thanks, everyone. A true pleasure to be with you all, to see you all. Drink water, take good care of yourselves, stay grounded through the winds. And if there are any props or things you used from the studio and you want to give them a swipe, I believe there's some wipes here in this black thing next to the pink balls you can give things a swipe with. Or there might be wipes in the white thing next to it, the container. And announcements-wise, Elizabeth this Sunday, Elizabeth Zach is teaching sound bath meditation from 6:30 to 7:30 on Sunday. The following week, Eric is teaching restorative yoga. My goodness, there's so much stuff happening. Her phenomenal supreme release yoga. So there's lots of stuff. If you have interest outside of public classes, you can just check on the workshop schedule. And I think that's all I have. Anyone else have announcements or things happening in your lives and your worlds that other people should know about? There should be stuff, but my brain is a blank. Thanks, y'all. See you soon. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Yay, good. Whether they wanted to be balanced on your arms or not, we still went there.
I was like, I'm getting such a deep stretch from child's pose.
Yes.
I'm not even doing crow right now.
Yes.